Welcome to Lesson 3 continued on SSS sharpening systems. We talked about oil, very important. I just showed you a Gatco kit and all the supplies with it. Next thing is what we call extras or extra supplies or miscellaneous stuff. Over time, everyone builds up their kit a little bit and gets things they particularly like to use themselves. I keep all my stuff in a big kit right here, a Bostitch $15 Walmart, whatever model. Everything's inside of it. A few items you'll find inside my kit on occasion. A wire brush for cleaning the burrs off of stuff. These are certainly invaluable. A small knife kit like this, $4 or $5, has all the special little heads in it. You know, T-stars, flats, Phillips, squares, special types for, you know, sharpening knives, taking knives apart, fixing things on them. If you're doing a knife sharpening job for someone, usually it's got a loose handle or a loose piece or a loose blade. It's good to have a little kit to sharpen it up instead of digging in there and cutting yourself. Get a nice little kit like this. It's $3, $4, $6. It's certainly well worth it. Has all the heads you'll need to sharpen basically anything. You'll get a lot of good use out of it. If you get into this later, you can have a nice little kit. You can see it has a lot of different small parts in it and stuff. I keep that in there because it's very valuable to have. Have a small needle file set and another one, a bigger one actually. This is good sometimes for cleaning inside an area, for sharpening, you know, like a serrated edge if you can't get it with your Gatco stone, for doing half rounds and flats and stuff. A little needle file set, pretty cheap in most of your hobby stores. Sometimes a Walmart has it, has a square file. When you start building knives from scratch later, you may need this. Just a little needle file set is good for cleaning up burrs and fixing little imperfections in a knife came out of the factory, redoing serration and things like that. So I keep that one around. Keep extra oil in there. I keep some Blue Magic, which is a metal polish. Real handy stuff. Smells like ammonia, very strong, but very invaluable to have. This will put a mirror finish on any kind of metal, as you can see. Does a real good job if you want something extra like that. Small bottle of Blue Magic or something similar. That's just what I prefer. I can use that to sharpen, you know, polish any kind of metal. Keep a big file. Have several more in my file kit, but this is a standard, you know, Bastard mill file, as you can see. Mill BD, mill Bastard. Sometimes you get a knife that's really bad out of the factory or needs a lot of stock taken off. You can actually take off that extra stock. Instead of getting it on your stones and eat up your stones doing it, you can use a file to knock off the big burr off of it to get started on it. So I keep the file there. Several little small things I use on occasion in my big kit. You probably may not go this far, but you know, I got a small pocket microscope here. It's 100 power, has a nice light on the side. You can fine focus, coarse focus from 40, 60, 100 power, fine focus in. Later, when you get really good at this, you can actually look at the cutting edge of a knife and see right down to the microscopic level what a good job you did or bad job you did. As it curves all the way around, you can just watch it, see there, and like, why isn't it getting sharp? Well, you didn't run down your previous stone enough, or you ran too far down, or you left the burr on it. So, little pocket microscope. These used to be at Radio Shack, which really isn't in business anymore, but you can get them online for a few dollars. You may never need or even want a pocket microscope. If you get really serious later, they're certainly good to have. So, probably would recommend that at some point. Get you a little pocket microscope. I usually keep some pieces of foam like this, just regular small soft foam. If I'm doing a job for someone, the knife doesn't have a sheath or whatever, if I'm laying knives, if I'm busy working, I'll put it on top of the foam here so it doesn't jiggle around the table when I'm sharpening. You know, it doesn't hurt anyone. If you're doing a knife without a sheath, you can at least stick in some foam here so the point's not going to get hit by someone when you're working or hit by you when you're working. So, I do a lot of sharpening of chisels and, you know, woodworking material, and usually I give the tool back after I sharpen it, stuck with the head stuck in a piece of foam, which is a good idea so it doesn't get bumped and get, you know, messed up and ruined or whatever. So keep that. There's all kinds of different stuff in my bag here. I usually keep a handful of rubber bands, a little block of rubber. Small rubber block is good. That's also a good polish for knocking the burr off of a knife. It's good for cleaning off the edge when you're sharpening it. Good for a lot of different stuff, you know, a little block of rubber. Just something you find in a parking lot somewhere. Pretty easy to do. And there's a few other miscellaneous items in my kit here, but that's kind of the start. I always have a few extra knives laying around. These are some of my straight razors. I'm doing a job currently of some throwing knives, some silver wings, so there's always a few extra knives in my bag. But you know, just probably a real good idea to think about getting you a small bag or some kind of a carrying kit, something like this. Keep everything in, keep the kids, grandkids out of it, no one gets hurt. You can find everything in one shot. It's not an issue. My Gatco Fit kit fits right in the bottom of my bag. My post mount fits on top of that. My oil goes inside. All of my sharpening stuff goes inside my small bag there. $14, $16. Several knives fit in it. My extra oil, my wire brushes, everything. If you can get it so it fits in one small bag, it's a real good idea. Otherwise, you're going to lose pieces. Something's going to get stepped on the floor. It's going to get lost, get left in the car, left in your truck. You can't find a piece you wanted. You're going to be dealing with a lot of sharp metal and small pieces that are dangerous to have around pets and kids. So, good idea. Keep all your stuff in a protected area, which is inside a bag that has a zipper on it. Keep people out of it. Pretty simple theory. Anyway, we'll move on to getting your first setup for sharpening here shortly.